are you trying to go about filling out your roster right now?
Working. Trying to stay on 2020, but also fill 2019. Right now we've got, Taylor and Lindell. Obviously, they're in the draft process, but you got to think that you have, anywhere from at least 1 to possibly 3 to fill. And so, we've got to get a couple perimeter guys, that can impact and help our team, going forward for next year and the years on.
Do you have any doubt that any of those guys come back, do you think?
I'll let them speak on that. This is their time to get the feedback, to go work out, prepare, and get ready for hopefully chasing their dreams and reaching their dreams. And so, I'm 100% behind those guys of chasing their dreams and being part of the draft. And hopefully, great things happen for those guys come June. But if they don't come back, we obviously got to prepare for that. And when you lose 2 guys like that are probably can get you, combined 40 points on certain nights, you got to have some arsenals returning, and we got to do that through recruiting. We got some good pieces back, but we got to do it through recruiting as well.
Are you recruiting like they're not coming back?
I think you have to, but then you also have to, stay in touch and communicate with those guys and their plans. And so, I have a good idea, but that's not something I'm going to talk about publicly. This is their time to go, really get good feedback, find out where they're at. But I think you have to put yourself in position because, it moves so fast recruiting-wise. Good players.
How tough is it right now out there on the recruiting material? I mean, and just in our state alone, there's probably, 18 roster spots open.
Just 18? Well, that means we only got 3, so that means...
Well, I was counting your 6, but okay. Okay.
We've got 3, really. And so, the spring has really become a wild time. I mean, we literally, since the season ended, we haven't stopped. I mean, you go right to recruiting. I've had a baby in the middle of that as well. And so, we just haven't stopped. We finished a visit yesterday afternoon. We did 2 home visits yesterday night. That's just part of the business, but the spring it's become, obviously people going after grad transfers, regular transfers, and then trying to sign, some high school guys or junior college guys that can come and impact your team. But the spring is a totally different recruitment than the fall. Because you've got so many guys getting out of your letter of intent to where some guys you recruit for 2 years, you may or not get them in the spring. You may recruit a guy for 4 weeks. And so relationships are totally different. But that's just the way the recruiting's changed. And now we've got to adapt going forward to where if it's going to be, you're going to have to be 50 or heavy at times, and you got to look at that. You got to look at a lot of different things going forward, though.
Did you learn anything from 2017 when you were in a similar position of trying to fill fast?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a good thing though. We've been last 2 out of 3 years. Obviously, we've had really good years. Won Big 12 tournament, went to NCAA's, but we really lost our whole team. And you're in a possible situation like that again this year. And I think the biggest thing you learn is don't not take a good player, even if they have to sit out. Because Mario Shack and Mike Jacobson were huge parts of the championship team this year, and a part of really getting us back to, the upper half of the Big 12, NCAA tournament, Big 12 tournament championship. And so we're looking at transfers as well to sit out, even if that impacts us down the road. I don't think you can turn away from that, but you also have to get a sense of urgency to where, hey, what high school kids, fifth-year guys can really help us and impact us. Good thing is we need perimeter guys to where that year we were really looking, front court.
Mm-hmm. What do you expect? Speaking of guys you have, we know what you have returned, but what do you expect from Prentiss?
Man, I love Prentiss. I think his work ethic's been great, and just kind of going off there, we were talking about that year we were looking for front court guys. Mike, George, and Solomon. If you're returning those 3 guys, we're in great shape right there. Whether we want to play big or small, we're in really good shape. And good thing about going to Italy is we can play both ways in Italy and get a really good feel for that. But Prentiss is going to bring leadership, bring toughness. I think he's really improved his game through the sit-out year. He's done a lot like Mario Shayak to where he's gotten in the gym and really improved his three-point shooting. He can play a couple guard positions for us. He can guard the opponent's best player. He's a really, really good on-ball defender and willing on-ball defender that I think defensively his toughness and his demeanor is going to make us better on that end right away. And so he'll be big for us on the perimeter. Tyrese obviously be big for us. those 3 front court guys. I think those are 5 guys right now can help you win. And then I'm excited to see the step Terrence Lewis makes and that Deuce makes, Zion. I had a similar situation when my first year at Murray State. We had 2 starters returning, and then we had 2 role guys that averaged combined like 7 points. And it was like, all right, you guys, it's your turn. You guys step up and take care of business. And one was Defensive Player of the Year, and the other was First Team All-League and Conference Tournament MVP. And that was Conference Tournament MVP when we had a pro on our team, and Isaiah Cannon. And so sometimes when guys get a little bit more freedom, a little bit more rope, a little bit more opportunity, they can step up and do some really good things. I hope Terrence can fill in that role. His work ethic's been really good this spring when we've been with him and then when he's been on his own.
How's Solo?
He's good. I think he's good. He'll take this month, really try to just continue to get back in shape. I think his body's finally 100%. He's got to continue to take this month to just stretch and continue to get better in that area.
Is he doing it
No,
here?
he'll go home to Sacramento for the month and then come back. But he looks good. He's been in the gym every day. Obviously, we can't work out with these guys, but those guys are around the facility. That's the best thing is these 7 returning guys are all around the facility, whether it's rehab, treatment, shooting, weights, doing stuff on their own the last 2 weeks, which has been really encouraging.
You got much professional feedback on Nick or Mar?
Man, I haven't got too much, but I've been gone so much and it's been all recruiting really the last couple weeks that I've touched base with Nick's agent a little bit. Yesterday we talked, and then Merrill's agent I know pretty well to where I'll check in with him once a week and just see how he's doing. But texting with the guys, they seem like they're doing well, and I think both of them. Nick won the tournament at Portsmouth, played well, and Merrill obviously had close to a 40-point game, his first game out there, and so I think both those guys have a chance to end up in some good places. Now, whether that's the NBA or not, that's to be determined, but both of those guys will be playing a really good situation next year.
With the season coming to a close maybe a little sooner than you would have hoped, how are the guys that are coming back maybe using that, or what have you seen out of how they might be using that?
Yeah, well, like I touched on, I think we had a quick spring. We played, into the, obviously the NCAA tournament, and so you take your week off, and then you really have about 3 weeks, and then you have to shut down because of dead week and finals week. But obviously the Ohio State loss was the way we were playing in Kansas City. I thought we'd at least have a great chance to make it to the second weekend, but it was kind of reminiscent of the Virginia game when you're playing a team that slows it down and gets you in a grind out game. We got down 9-2 and we were kind of fighting uphill the whole way, and credit them for being able to control the tempo of the game. But I think these guys understand how hard we need to work, the things we need to get better at on the defensive end and from a toughness standpoint, and then obviously offensively just continue to work on, our skill level. That's the biggest thing, so we can play the right way and play the way that we want to play.